So look, the title got you to this video. You're probably upset at your boss saying, this is what's wrong with my boss. I got the worst boss in the world. You just want me to give you an answer for you to say, I quit, I'm out of here, right? You're not gonna get that because it may not be your boss. But there are 10 different types of bad bosses out there. But typically we handle this in a different way. Hopefully I'll give you some insight that's gonna help you on what to do next. If you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, specifically the 51% that watch the content every week but don't subscribe. And by the way, before you send your letter of resignation and just watch this video, stay with me, maybe a little bit of USA, everything's gonna be fine. Let's go through it. So 10 different types of bad bosses. One is the manipulative one. I've worked with one of those guys many, many years ago. It's actually very good to work with one. It'll make your skin thicker. Number two, super emotional. One day they're here. Next day they're here. You come to work, you're like, let me see how this guy's doing today. Oh shit, he's pissed off. Let me avoid him. Oh, he's happy today. Oh, he's like kind of a little bit depressed today. How do I handle this guy? Like you're almost dealing with a bipolar person and you have to kind of adjust based on where that person's at. Number three, too demanding. It's like, where were you? Stay late. Come on Saturday. Well, I need you to do this. Demanding on timeline, everything. It's so demanding to work with a person like that. Number four, no urgency. It's okay, don't worry about it. It's okay, take your time. So initially you may like it, but eventually you're like, what the hell am I doing in this company? I want to do something big with my life. So this feels warm and fuzzy at the beginning, not long-term. No vision. I remember vividly in Hawaii, sitting across a guy who was the face of the company, who I asked him, I said, I have to make a decision what I'm doing the next 20 years. I love this industry. I don't know if you do. Sell me the vision of the company. There's about 50, 100 people around the pool watching because we had a lot of friction, me and this guy who was scaring the crap out of everybody and I didn't like that kind of style of leading. We sat down, I said, sell me the vision. Where are you taking the company? He says, well, the sun's in my eyes if I'm not looking at you in your eyes. I said, I'll flip, let's switch seats. But look at me in my eyes and sell me the vision. You know what he said at the end, which I respect? He says, honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'm just relaxing right now golfing. I said, I respect it, but I had to know because I had a vision. So sometimes the boss is a guy that he doesn't have the vision, right? And number six, micromanaging. Where were you? What are you doing? What happened? Where was I? Now, some people may say, well, I'm so sick and tired of working with my boss that's micromanaging. You know what I've learned over time? There are a lot of people that I don't micromanage. You know why? Because I trust them. So maybe you're being micromanaged because your boss doesn't trust you. Maybe you are kind of a little bit like this and he's kind of like seeing patterns, so that's why they're kind of a little bit paranoid around you. So maybe if you increase your trust and delivery on the items that you do, maybe this goes away. So maybe this is on you, not the boss. Number seven, no example. He doesn't set the example as a leader. He or she is not working as hard. He or she is just an average boss. He or she's calibration is not that high. So you don't really have you don't look at this boss and say, my God, this guy's gonna take me places. He's gonna make me a better leader. Number eight, shielding. You know what's the worst thing about shielding? So this is you. Let's just say this is your boss. This is your CFO, okay? And this is the CEO. And this is you. You are a director of finance. You're the controller. And this guy shields you from the CFO and the CEO. So the good news always gets stuck right here with you. Nobody ever finds out the good news that goes, every time it goes here, it gets stuck. So this person gives the report to these guys as if they did it. And they take responsibility for it. I worked with somebody like this once before, and I'm so glad I did because it reminded me to never, ever do this. Do you know this person? This person is the reason why in every company I ever worked in, you know what my rule is? I don't care who comes up with the idea. Always give credit to the person that came up with the idea. In our company, we have 12 principles. You know what one of them is? Always give credit to whoever came up with the idea. Don't take ownership of the idea. Say Larry came up with it, even if it's a layer below. You know what I say that's called? I call that leadership. So if you work with somebody that's shielding you, this may be one of the most annoying bosses to work with. That they never celebrate your victories out. Very annoying. Next one, integrative. If the person lacks integrity, then you have a problem. What is this person going to be doing? And by the way, there is a lot of things that you see out there, and then there's work environment on a daily basis. You'll catch what people are doing. Oh, this guy's not fair. Oh, I see what they did here. All you say, this person's actually got a lot of integrity. They're actually pretty honest. I actually like the way this guy makes decisions. But sometimes it's integrity. Next one is passive. You know what passive leadership is? They never confront you. It's passive aggressive. You know they got to take, and they're a little bit angry at you or agitated with you, but they don't know, they don't tell you anything. So how the hell am I supposed to know what I'm supposed to be doing? Give me feedback. Am I doing something? Am I on track? No feedback. They're so afraid of confrontation that they don't know how to give you feedback. FYI. The same way we look at all of these things and we're talking about the boss, you ought to look at every one of these things and say, which one of these is me? Am I a little bit manipulative? Am I sometimes emotional? Am I too demanding? Am I lacking urgency? Do I lack vision with the company? Today, I'm doing a consulting call with 8 different CEOs and their executive team. One of the guy who the company just hired, he's like, well, let me tell you what they're doing wrong with their marketing. I said, I'm sorry, did you say they? He says, yes. I said, are you a consultant or W-2? No, I just got hired. When did you get hired? 3 weeks ago. Guess what? If they're paying you a salary, you can never use the word they. It's we. You're officially part of the team. Do you see yourself as an outsider or an insider? I guess I'm an insider. Replace they with we. Stop saying they, we, because you're in now, so say we. So I want you to be part of the vision. Maybe you micromanage it too much and you protect them. Maybe you set no example. Maybe you're shielding. Maybe you lack integrity. Maybe you're a little bit passive and you're afraid. Why is this happening? Because my son, who plays soccer, has had a lot of coaches. One of the coaches, probably the worst coach he ever had. We always talk about this one coach. Very, very bad coach. But we stayed with him for a minute because I saw the friction and how that coach had a son. His son would always play all the games, but everybody else was like passive on. He had favorites, and the best players wouldn't usually get the best time, which is fine. He needed a bad coach. I just hired a guy right now that's working with my son who's a professional futsal player, retired. He is now coaching my son. We're sitting sideline at a game where my son is choosing to play. You know how they say, what do they call it, game pass, where you're kind of like joining a team, but you're not part of that team? So we're sitting on the sidelines watching how that coach, it's not his coach, he just chose to be the 15th man on the team so he can get at least half a playing time. He comes in, he creates a play, we score a goal. You know how you track plus minus. The team's doing better with Dylan in than Dylan being out. And then the coach all of a sudden takes him out. And we're watching Dylan on the sidelines. And he says, let's see what he does. I said, he's going to go ask the coach to put him in the game. He walks to the coach, and coach just says, no, you're not going back in the game. He knows it's done. He goes, sits down. We're waiting. We're like, let's see how he reacts after the game. He comes. So how was the game? He's just kind of telling us. Well, what happened at the end when you try to go back into the game? Well, he didn't put me in the game. How did you process that information? I don't know. I guess I'm not one of his players, so his priority is going to be his players that are with him every week. I'm only in here giving me a chance to play, so I'm just grateful he gave me 2 quarters. We don't say anything. We just look at each other. We're like, good for him on how he processed that, because he needs to overcome that conflict. He needs to overcome that conflict. If I'm trying to build a leader, you need to go overcome that conflict. So what's the issue? Here's the issue. Solution. You have 3 different things you're going to do in every issue you face with every one of these bosses. 1, you avoid them. Worst thing you can do, you avoid. You know, I'm not even going to talk to the boss. I'm going to avoid him. You think that's the solution? Number 2, you run. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to go on LinkedIn and start looking for jobs. What a coward. You're not a coward. You don't do something like this. That's not you. You think your dad raised you that way? Your mom raised you that way? Your family? No, that's not you. You don't need to run. This is like the last thing you should do. You know what's the right thing to do? Confront. Learn the art of confronting respectfully. I sat with the vice chair of Goldman Sachs. His name is Rob Kaplan. I said, Rob, you were the vice chair of Goldman Sachs. What is the most important thing you guys teach at Goldman Sachs? He says, you really want to know? Yes. We teach our advisors how to confront. Confront who? You got to learn how to confront your clients. You got to learn how to confront your peers. You got to learn how to confront your boss. You got to learn how to confront everybody, but respectfully. So confront, but respectfully. So maybe the skill set you need to pick up is the skill set of confronting. Maybe you need to read the book, 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. Maybe you need to read the book, Crucial Conversations. Maybe you need to read the book, Indecisive. Maybe you need to go on Amazon and read every single book that's about confronting people with 500 plus reviews and 4+ star, and buy those books and become obsessed about learning how to do this for the rest of your career. This is one of the highest paid skill sets in your life, learning how to confront. So now, we've addressed the 10 bosses, okay? We've addressed what to do, but let's go through over here. We got 2 different personalities. Now imagine these 2 people trying to work together. One is intense, one is chill. One has a vision, one has no vision. One is very demanding, the other one's low standards. One wants to work from the office, the other one's working from home. One has clear direction, very structured, very organized, is giving you clear here. I need you to do this first, then do this, then do this. One is all over the place. One is a leader. One is a Lone Ranger. One is positive. One is negative. One is high trust. You trust this person. The other one's got loose lips. Now, who is this person? Who is that person? This could be the boss. This could be you. You could be this. That could be the boss. You think these two people get along? No. So these guys are not going to get along. That's a conflict already in place of how they're going to work together. So now let's see. You may say, well, Pat, I'm telling you, I'm this guy. You know what will tell? Let me tell you what will tell. I drew up these two charts. And you may be saying, what the hell are these two charts? This is like old school charts that I used to do like 12, 13 years ago. But we're doing it with this now without paint all over my hands. This yellow is you. The blue is them. In this case, you're reporting to them, which means you're below them. If you're right, you know what's going to happen in the market? You're going to pass them up. That's how it works. If they're right, they're going to pass you up. But if you're sitting there and say, Pat, I'm telling you, I'm driving, man, I'm working, I'm really improving, I'm trying to become a leader myself, then don't worry about it. Market's going to find out who you are. But if you're wrong, here's what's going to happen. The boss was right about you because you're going to go like this and the boss is going to advance. And you could have ran with this boss and won at the highest level, but your ego got in the way. You know what's the good news and the bad news? The good news is we will know within 10 years. The bad news is we will know if you were the problem or the boss. And I've seen this so many times in my career. Wherever I worked, I asked myself, this guy and I have friction. Maybe that person's right. Maybe they're right about whatever they're talking about. Let's see in the next 3 to 5 years what happens. And then if all of a sudden it goes like this, it goes like this, it goes like this, well, wait a minute. I was the leader in that situation. I just had one of my friends, he was my boss 16 and a half years ago, okay? He comes to me, one of my favorite guys in the world that I've had so much fun. I partied with this guy all over the world, him and I, we were like this. He was at my wedding. He comes to the house. I'll never forget, it's 2008. He's taking a shower in my bathroom, and I have my entire shower is filled with affirmations. Highest form of maturity is when you become independent of others' opinions. You know, all these things, be careful what you joke about or be sarcastic about because your spirit stops having faith in the words that come out of your mouth, right? I have met the enemy. It is I, Alexander the Great. I have all these affirmations. I'm in the shower. I'm the guy that's screaming in my shower, right? He's in the shower, not coming out. He comes out fired up. He's like, oh my God. Dude, that's what you read all the time, laminated from. Yeah, that was awesome. He says, you in the company have improved the most, but we have not yet seen the results of you've improved the most. He's telling me this. So I leave and start my own insurance company. You know what ends up happening? We sell the insurance company for $250 million. Everybody in that insurance company said, Patrick this, Patrick that, Patrick. They have to eat their words. But for the first 3 to 5 years, everybody believed them. Oh yeah, it's Patrick. Oh yeah. Who cares what they're saying about me? You think I go to sleep worried about what you think about me? He came to my house. You know what he told me at my house? He says, Pat, let me tell you what this person said. Let me tell you what that person said. I said, I'm not interested. He says, why not? I said, because the 5 people's opinions that I care about, I already know where they stand. The rest of the guys, I don't need to know. I know where they're at. I don't need to know their opinion. Moral of the story, pick and choose which of these two you want to be, because at the end of the day, the problem is either the boss or it's you. And only time will tell who really was the problem. So if you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, specifically the 51%. Come on, subscribe to the channel. I know you got value out of this. Hopefully you make the right choice. Don't make the emotional one. Take your time before you say it's you or them. Just find a way to improve. Everything's going to work itself out. 2 other videos I want you to watch if you got value out of this one. One of them is, I made a video about 1.5 years ago, said this is what our culture is if you work with our company. Not everyone is gonna like with us, but for the right person, you will never find another job because you'll stay here forever. If you wanna know how our culture is at Valuetainment, click here to watch it. The other one is a unorthodox way of addressing conflict. I shot this video a few years ago. If you've never seen that, click here to watch that video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye.